Hi everybody, this is Dixie and I wanted to show you one of my very favorite projects, although I have made it probably a dozen times trying to film this video for you. But it's a gorgeous tag and it uses distress stains and microfine glitter, and these are the three stains that I'm going to use: mustard seed, picked raspberry, and peacock feathers, and I love them because they blend so beautifully together. And here I am just applying it to my tag. I am pressing down gently and squeezing gently just to get the ink to really flow out of the bottle. And I am applying it somewhat randomly, trying not to have too many straight lines, but I do want the colors to overlap and blend and make some new colors on the tag. So I've got all three colors on and I'm just trying to decide where I might need a little more color. And then I'm going to bring some water in so that the colors will blend together, especially where they meet. And then while the tag is still wet, I'm going to go in and apply a little bit of color that flows really nicely now that there's extra fluid on the tag. And once I get it looking the way that I want, I will bring in a heat gun and start to dry it. See, I'm trying to soften some of those edges. And I'm going to start drying it now, and after I've dried it for a few seconds, I will bring in my towel and blot off the excess and continue to dry and blot. And here I'm just straightening out the tag, flattening it out, getting ready to add my glue and glitter. Here's the stamp set. It's Tim Holtz it's called Papillion by Stampers Anonymous. I'm just going to apply it to an acrylic block, and then I am going to bring in my favorite glue for glitter. It is Scrap Happy Sheer Glue by the Rubber Cafe, and you need a glue that when it dries tacky, and this dries really tacky. In fact, my stamp is pretty much permanently tacky, but that's okay, it stamps perfectly. So I'm just applying the glue, and I don't want it to pool and squish in any place, so I'm really wiping it out and trying to spread it around. Needed a little more glue here to make sure that I have enough, and I do want to not wait too long because I don't want it to start to dry on the stamp because it won't then transfer to my tag. When I feel like I've got it on there pretty good, I'm going to close up the glue. It doesn't like to sit out and air dry too much, or else you'll never get it out of the bottle. And then I'm just going to line it up at the bottom and stamp it, and I want to press firmly and make sure that I'm really getting that glue and paper together. I'm going to rub that tag real quick. It is really sticky, so I pull it off carefully. I'm just going to add a little more glue here on the bottom of my stamp so that I can add some stamping at the top of my tag. Again, just pressing firmly. And I am going to put that in hot water, and I'm going to let this glue dry for about 10 seconds, just because I want it nice and tacky before I start adding glitter. This is Glitter Ritz, the latte color. It's a nice darker kind of goldish brown color. And I am going to put it here on my copy paper just so I can put the excess glitter back in the jar. I'm going to apply it liberally, and it is going to stick to the glue and a little bit to the tag, just because the tag probably is a little bit damp still. Just making sure I have glitter everywhere. And then I am going to put it back into its container so that it doesn't make a huge mess. Copy paper is the easiest thing I've found for putting glitter back into its container. And with microfine glitter, you need to buff it into the adhesive, and you can see that it gets shinier as you buff it into the adhesive. It also helps it to stick really, really well. And that's why you need a glue or some type of adhesive that stays tacky, because otherwise, once the glue dries, your glitter will start to fall off. So I've just buffed it in. You can see that it's shiny. I removed a lot of the excess glitter. I'm just going to shake it off, get it out of the way, and wipe it off, and then in a minute I will bring in a cloth and wipe off all the rest of the glitter. I just don't want it to keep coming off and making a mess of everything. And that's why I love microfine glitter, is once you get it into that adhesive, it does stay. Now we're ready to bring in the finishing pieces for this tag. I'm going to add an Eiffel Tower. This is Sukwang double-sided adhesive. I cut this shape on my silhouette. And if you are using just double-sided adhesive, if you have not adhered it to cardstock, then you want to stick it to your project first, because trying to put a glittered piece of Sukwang or any double-sided adhesive down onto your project is like trying to put cellophane, trying to move cellophane around it. It sticks to itself, it bends, it folds, and it's just about impossible to work with. So stick it down to your project first and then add the glitter. I'm going to add more glitter, Ritz glitter in black this time. I'm going to peel off that top protective covering. Try not to touch your adhesive. You really want the glitter to stick well, and sometimes the glitter or the oils or whatever might be on your fingers keeps the glitter from really sticking well. So I'm just sticking my black down. I'm going to rub it on gently and then remove the excess and get it out of the way. You can see that I don't have a lot of black sticking elsewhere because we put the latte color down first, and so the black doesn't stick where it's not supposed to. You see I have a little oops pile there where I didn't aim so well, and I just use a baby wipe because the glitter is so microfine that you can just pick it up with the baby wipe. And again, I'm buffing it into the adhesive, and you can see that even with this black it gets more sparkly, plus it just helps it really stick down to that adhesive. I'm going to wipe away the rest with a dry cloth, and we are ready to move on to the next thing, which is a banner. We're going to add our happy birthday greeting on it. But first I didn't want it to be so stark white, so I'm adding some old paper stain to it just quickly to help it not be so bright. Just giving the edges a little bit of extra ink. And then I'm going to hit it with the heat gun for just a second. And then I'm going to bring in my happy birthday stamp. And it's a paper tray ink stamp set. And because it's a clear acrylic, I can just bend it to fit the banner that I have there. And I'm going to bring in some archival ink in black. I love this ink, especially with the Distress products, because it is waterproof. And it's so dark and crisp. It's perfect. And now I'm just going to add some pop-up adhesive to the back of this. And attach it to the tag. And we have a nice greeting there. And then I'm going to bring in seam binding. Hug Snug brand is what I have used and really like. And the reason I love seam binding is it holds the ink really well, so you get really vibrant colors. And I'm just going to use the same stains that I used to color my tag, the mustard seed and the picked raspberry and the peacock feathers. And I'm just applying them to the ribbon. And once I get my stains on there, I'm going to crinkle it all together, and it helps the colors kind of blend together and give me kind of a tie-dye look, but it also gives me the crinkled ribbon look. And so as I bring in the heat gun and start to dry it, I'm going to keep scrunching up that ribbon and keep crumpling it so that I get that crinkled ribbon look. And it is a little bit hot, so you work quick and But the ribbon doesn't take very long to dry. It dries pretty quick. You can see the effect I have on the ribbon there, a little bit of a tie-dyed effect, and all of the same colors on the tag. And I'm just going to poke the middle of the ribbon through the hole, and then bring the rest of the ribbon through the loop and pull gently, and my project is done. Isn't that a pretty tag? I love the colors and the sparkle that you get from the stains and the Microfine glitter. And here you can see it on the black background better. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you decide to create your own beautiful tag. This is a lot of fun. And this is Dixie with DC Papercraft. Come visit me on Facebook or Google Plus or my blog.